Hi,
Welcome to Monday.
welcome. Thank you, Ellen. Ellen Harris, our co-host here of Women in Crypto, and I'm Dr. Andrea Adams Miller, and we're so thankful that you're joining us here today. Just as a reminder, we want to thank Rick Scherer. He's our IT producer, our behind-the-scenes guy that does everything for us. We're so appreciative for you, Rickster. You've been amazing for everything that you've been doing for us, and we want to remind you that this is brought to you by Bees.Social and BeesSocialTV for our DAO, our cryptocurrency that's really created the community to help people have financial literacy and to be able to make decisions on their own with their money the way that they want to. And also our sponsors are business-accelerated.com, Ellen Harris, and the redcarpetconnection.com. And our charity of choice is the Keep Smiling Movement, the keepsmilingmovement.org. We help save lives with smiles by creating a dose of hope to be resilient no matter the challenge. And our guest today, we're super excited about. Her name is Heather Havenwood. Heather Havenwood is also known as Sexy Boss, and you'll definitely see that come. She has no holds barred. That's what I love about her. She shows up big and bold. There's no one telling her to too much, to be quiet, to back down. She's going to say it like it is and put it out there up front. And she's been very successful when she started living her authentic life. She is not only award-winning media mogul, again, Chief Sexy Boss, and she's also the top-selling book author of Sexy Boss, How Female Empowerment is Changing the Rule Book in Business. She's also recognized by the Stevie Awards as the most innovative woman of the year in social media for 2020, Top Media Mogul 2020 by Women of Achievement Association. And it goes on and on. She's helped thousands, hundreds of thousands of people do so many amazing things. She's also helped over 10,000 people launch, start, and grow a six-figure consulting expert and influence business online. She wholeheartedly believes every person is an influencer and a leader, and it's time for their voice to be uncaged, to be heard, to shine, and for them to earn six figures and beyond. I'm so happy to have you here. Please join us. A gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful, fun, bold woman. Thank you for being here today.
Cue the applause. Where's the
Live from
confetti?
Vegas.
Yes, she was live from Vegas, and she just had a wonderful event this last weekend. Why don't you start off by celebrating that? Tell us about what you were doing.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I love the fact that I was just watching the intro and just y'all's mission around women and crypto and blockchain, like all of it. I'm like, yes, 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 yes. So just really want to do thank you, thank you, thank you. And to you and Ellen today. So thank you for having me. But yeah, you and I just kind of crossed paths. I think not for the first time, we actually had crossed paths in the past. So that was kind of cool. And I just completed a 3-day event. I'm actually here in the studio. So this is not what my background looks like, which is the Influencer Profit Live. And as you said in my intro, but just really want to reiterate is that it was really about stepping into women's power and kind of unlocking that third chakra and really owning their business, owning their life, and owning their voice. And I think when you own your voice, right, when you own your message, that's really when I think that things just completely alter from that perspective. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, certainly excited to have you. And then I want to give a big shout out, thanks to AJ Poyton, as my phone calls him. Adge Puddin. So I always, when I want to talk to him, I said I'd like to call Adge Puddin, and it just always makes me smile. He's a wonderful man. He's a guru behind the gurus. He's done so many amazing things in his life, and he's been in the personal development and speaker industry since he was 14 years old, and he's not 20. So there you go.
He's right behind me. He's behind that wall right now. So he is here in spirit.
The man behind the wall. Yeah, certainly love him to death. And thanks to him, he brought us together so that we actually were communicating and working together. And you shared some wonderful things about what you want to do in the world of crypto. And I wanted to give you a platform for us to share and talk about that because I've been talking about that quite a bit over the last 6 months at different events about how I want to create personal development in the world of crypto. And you're doing that as well.
Yeah, I just want to, yeah, so let me just go dive in right there.
Sure.
I dove into crypto, actually Bitcoin I did was 5 years ago, but dove really heavy into NFTs and crypto in the last 7 months. And what I was kind of looking at it from is yes, there's an investment side and like that, but I see as a complete transformation of how the information marketing industry, I think the industry that we're all in, right? The how
Mhm.
the coaching, consulting, knowledge-based business industry is going to completely shift using the power of crypto and NFTs. And that's kind of how I was looking at it. I do think it's going to completely revolutionize healthcare and things like that, but that's not my wheelhouse. 20 plus years experience into information marketing, knowledge-based business. So I'd love to share about my ideas on that during the show today, but that's what I think. I think it's going to completely revolutionize not only in the information marketing space, but it's also going to revolutionize coaching businesses as well as female coaching businesses. So I'd love to share that because I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that would be lovely. Oh, I'm in the super big head mode. I still have not. I have. We joke about it every week because I'm mobile in different cities and different places. I don't like another external mic, but StreamYard requires me to have the external camera because I'm like sitting so far away from my camera, I can't even reach it. I'm like this, and I'm yet this big Oz head. It cracks me up. Oh, I gotta love it. All the things that we do, and yet we're resilient and we show up anyways, and we do what we need to do. So, Heather, for me in the world of personal development, and I have really loved the idea that cryptocurrency, crypto world, we are flexible and adaptable to create the world that we want to. So what do you foresee once we are into Web3, what we can expand even further? Because, we are going to be the industry leaders in personal development and Web3.
So one of the things that's interesting about Web3 is that it's becoming more decentralized, right? So what is that? The
No
challenge
one died during the making of that. Just wanted to let you know, no one died.
the challenge is the more decentralized that we go as a society, the more centralized we desire. The more high tech we go as a society, the more high touch we desire. So when you say Web3, there's crypto, there's NFTs, there's metaverse, but there's also community. That the more we go decentralized, the more people want to be in community. I shared at our event today that yes, I might live in St. Petersburg, Florida. I might be here in Las Vegas right now, but I work in the metaverse, right? I work inside community around the world. And I think that's the first element of Web3 that we want to really make sure that we understand. Now, the good news is that women rock inside a community, right? We love community. We're great at community. We're great at leading community, nurturing community. And that's why I think Web3 is an opportunity for like a new playing field, completely flattened for women to completely step in newly without any kind of background. That's the first thing. The second thing is NFTs on the blockchain, of course, with different crypto. Now, I believe that's going to be one of the new way for coaching groups and communities to be created. So in the last 6 months, I've been part of different communities, and my access point was not a credit card. My access point was not an invoice. It was buying a certain number of crypto coins and or buying an NFT. And that was my ticket, right? So when I bought 2 or 3 different NFTs in a group setting, I connected myself inside their community with Discord. It was all automatic that I was inside of the community. That sounds too weird. Just get that it's like an automatic ticket. Now, what's interesting is the moment I sold my NFT, aka it's no longer in my wallet, it's no longer it's on the blockchain, it's no longer in my wallet, and the blockchain says, hey, it's now in Ellen's wallet. I immediately am no longer part of the community within seconds. And that's where the power of, I think, community can really set in. One of the communities I watched what I found was really interesting is that they released 150 tokens or NFT tokens for their mastermind for the year. And once they released them, they were sold out, right? It was like a product launch. Boom, there's only 150 NFTs. Now, you and I have been around long enough to know, Andrea, where people go, oh, there's only 150 spots. And you don't know if they're lying or, you know what I mean? But when you release 150 or 100 or whatever the number is, NFTs, it's on the blockchain and you can see when they're sold and you can see who bought them. And once they're gone, they are gone. And so those particular NFTs went from, I believe it started at like 0.05 ETH at the time and went all the way up to 3 ETH pretty fast. And what that also shows is, let's say that you're in there or Ellen's in there and you bought one of the NFTs. Maybe Ellen's going through something in her life and she's like, you know what? I don't have the capacity right now to focus on this mastermind. So instead of going to the mastermind and going, hey, can you stop dinging my credit card for $1,500 a month? She doesn't have to do that, right? She could just sell on the open market her NFT, make probably money on it. I mean, that's awesome. And then she gets to go focus on whatever she needs to focus on, maybe her health, maybe she's with an elderly parent, a child, whatever, right? It gives us freedom, the decentralization of not having to be locked into those groups. So that's what I love.
Yeah.
Ellen, I wanted to give you a chance to be asking, because this is something new that I think to you that we're bringing up today. So what are you hearing for yourself or for others?
Well, what I hear is that women have now been empowered to think beyond the coaching, the consulting, and really write their own ticket technically. And so I think that is, oh man, I think that is just a wonderful place for women to be, because we don't get that opportunity very often. So to see it, to be a part of it and to experience it, this is just phenomenal in my mind. So thank you, Heather, for making that possible or contributing to making that possible.
I
Yeah,
wanted to break
absolutely.
that down too.
I want to say one more thing, Andrea, to that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I want to say, okay. One more thing I want to say about that is when you start moving into the NFT projects, right, you could go deeper into that. There's all other opportunities that are opening up right now, specifically for women. So Reese Witherspoon, right, owns a company called Hello Sunshine, it's a production company, and she is now teamed up with one of the female-owned and female-focused NFT projects. So now we're going to start to see NFTs inside of movies. And so when you start to get that next level and you bring in Hollywood, right, more than just an investment, but as like a stand for women, right? We've never had that, Ellen. We have not had that in I don't think ever, at least in my lifetime, to what I call a brand new level field that we can jump in at the exact same level as everyone.
Yes, yes. It certainly breaks down the barriers to entry, I must say.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's just for all women, no matter the ethnic or race, on a global scale. There is a particular project I'm keeping in mind. I see her face and I apologize, I can't remember the name of the project, but she's Indian and she lives in India. And she started this project and it's like tremendously gone very well. And she is now inside of PR all over the world. And as we know, many women in India, the Indian culture, are really repressed. Now, I'm not saying she is, I have no idea her personal story, but the fact that she was able to completely revolutionize not only her life, but be a stand for other women who may be repressed in the Indian culture and other races and cultures, I think it's truly remarkable, right? It's like an eye-opening experience that this woman around the world is having an impact, not only globally, but also in the States and also with Hollywood. It's pretty amazing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Andrea, you wanted to say something, I think.
Oh yeah, I always have something to say, Ellen. You know, let's be honest.
I didn't want to hold you back.
Totally real and authentic. By the way, no people, cats, or makeup was injured during the filming of this show. You heard the crash. That was not the economy crashing. I just want to let you know we are all good. Well, I wanted to share because Heather's new to us and Bees.Social, and so I just wanted to give her an opportunity to hear a little bit about the bees. So we are a community, a crypto community who started initially. We had investors so it's privately covered as far as investment. And they spent about 5 years building out how to create their own DAO. And we started out by doing liquidity pools and did them on our own. I'm one of the original 48 people when we started doing this. And then when we finally, before we launched the DAO, we did NFTs and we launched over 10,000 NFTs that are different cartoon characters of bees. Both queens and worker bees, and we sold those within 20 hours, which was really, really cool, to over 6,000 people. And we never used any traditional publicity, any marketing, any ads, anything. It was all word of mouth only. And that was the purpose of our kind of our leaders behind it, even though we are, decentralized as a DAO, we always have the people who step up and kind of like guide people in the direction and knew more about than like I did when I came in. And so we really want to just share with people the kind of people that you want to hang out with, the kind of people that you trust, because we're asking people to invest in themselves and to make good choices. And we want them to feel safe by bouncing ideas off of us and talking to us. And so our DAO now is doing well, is doing as well as DAOs are doing right now, considering the down and the dip and everything. The exciting part is it's a great time for people to get into it because the investment is really low and then it has such great potential to rise up to really great feats. And we've also then helped multiple projects. So we originally started off with helping 7 different projects. One's in the entertainment business for smart contracts. We help with a mission, with an anime company, and several other. And also we have the Wings of Wisdom, which is a women's group that helps other women by giving them a hand up and guidance. And so it's been really fun to see what has been developed and what's been created. And I had said that I was interested in doing in my world, my personal development with publicity and connection. So with you, Heather, I'd like for us to give the audience a little more of a glimpse by taking the overview that you gave and us breaking it down a little bit. And let's intermingle it with some of the gifts that you have to offer, the ones that Ellen does in her business consultation world. And then I'll throw in some media and connection as well to help people hone ideas for themselves on what's possible for them, or maybe someone they love or care about. So you want to play with me?
Yeah, let's play with it. Yeah, let's absolutely
Yeah.
play with it.
Cool.
So do you want to go to
All
the
right.
NFT world, or do you want to do crypto coin as a creative experience? Which one or both?
I think I want to do it as a creative experience, more like where it's a membership and an experience where they have that ability. Actually, it would be kind of fun to kind of map out your pyramid that you did the other day, where people can fill in their own pyramid spots.
Well, AJ's not here, so I can't do any of that.
Well,
So I can
we talk about it in the world because people know, the hierarchy triangle. The people know the food pyramid,
Yeah.
so so we can do it
Good
that
point.
way.
So I'm like, I wasn't prepared for that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we could play with that. Is what you mean, just like kind of the triangle and just kind of have fun going up the ladder.
Triangle with 5 different levels, and they can add their own levels. So those of you who are watching, if you've ever, played any game where there's a triangle, like here's the triangle, that what is it, the daily whatever, daily double or whatever, so we have our ground level, that's our foundation, our widest funnel to reach out to people, where that's an idea to get people's attention, to let them know we exist. And then let's jump in anytime.
Okay, yeah. So let me just give an overview for people, and then we can like play down different rails. So in the world of the hierarchy, right? Let's say I kind of call that the what I call the reverse funnel, right? Where the bottom is where we are sending our messages out there. It's through TikTok videos, Instagram videos. Right now I'm podcasting, our YouTube, and we're attracting our tribe. That's that lower tier. But then as you move up the tier, some people only have two tiers. It's like free and then like 25,000, right? That's some people, that's their entire business model. Some people it's free and $7 a month, right? To $7 to $1,000 a month to 25. So you can get the levels of the different kind of levels where you can add NFTs in it. Let's just play with NFTs and then we can play with each side. So NFTs, if you have free, right? The free content is again where you're attracting, right? It's across different platforms. Okay. So y'all all know what that is. But the next level, if someone's like, oh, I just got to know Ellen, I just got to know Andrea, how do I play with her? Right? What's that first little level? Well, in the world of NFTs, it could be just buy one of her NFT collection, and then you get access because it's an access point connected to the blockchain. It's access to her daily coffee she does inside of a Discord or a Facebook group or community. You just kind of get access to watch her behind the scenes or things like that. That's like one NFT. Let's say go down the road a little more and you say, look, if you buy 5 of my NFTs, again, we know if you buy 5, if I have 5 in my OpenSea wallet of her NFTs, right? If I own 5, then you get to go with me, to Andrea, to a retreat in Atlanta, Georgia for 5 days where we do your PR for you, right? If you own 5 NFTs by this date, you get access to this amazing retreat that I'm going to be helping you with all this cool stuff. And then you can go as far as if you own 10, for 1 year, you're in a private mastermind with me and you get all these different services if you buy 5 NFTs. That's kind of like what I see. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, indeed. I like that. You give people a broad range of access to the system that you've created. So I think that's attractive in itself.
Yeah, well, the next level of that is then taking it into crypto. So either having your own coin, the Andrea coin, right? Or the red hot rock star coin, right? We could say one coin, which by the way, one coin might be the time be $10 US, right? But you buy it in, of course, ETH, okay? And it's equivalent to $10. But then as you build your community, one coin is no longer $10, it's worth $20, right? So I bought it at 10, Ellen bought it 10 because we're fans, and all of a sudden it's now worth 20. We're like, sweet, we just doubled our money. But we still want to stay in Andrea's group. And Andrea's like, if you buy 100 coins at 10 right now, don't wait till it's 20, right? Then you have access to the retreat again, same kind of concept, or to the mastermind. And then as we got buy-in, because here's what happens. If I know this is going to happen, I get like wind. Oh my gosh, she's going to open the door for this. When is it? The moment I buy, maybe Ellen doesn't find it for 2 days and she buys a little later. Well, the coin just went up from $10 to $15. So basically, Ellen, this was so crazy. Ellen actually bought into the retreat more than I did, even if it was only 2 days later. That's the kind of power of crypto when you build a community, right? Because it kind of creates this, oh my gosh, I got to get in now when it's less expensive, because the more people buy in, the price could go up. That's on NFTs and crypto. So it creates a different kind of urgency. You know what I mean? This totally happened to me in a program I'm in, or was in a community. And I knew they were about to open this thing, and I waited. And I waited 2 days just because I was lazy. Actually, I was just lazy. I didn't want to go to my wallet. And I waited 2 days, and the price went up 15%. I'm like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like 2 days, usually with events and things, like they don't go up that fast. So I think it creates this next level. And then that same program, now check this out. This is crazy. So I was in this program, this community, for about 4 months. And then some things happened, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and leave the community, right? I had bought in US dollar wise around 6K, right? And I'd been in the community, I'd valued the community, I showed up in the community, I became like a leader in the community. And then some things happened, and I was like, I need to remove myself here and put my energy elsewhere. And when I pulled my money out, crypto, and converted it, I now had $10,000 US, right? After the conversion. And I was like, what kind of program do you put in 6K and 4 months later you get 10K? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that is like huge power. It's not every time, of course, but that's what's possible. Like it's possible when you're adding cryptocurrency inside of the community. I think it's really cool.
So let me
Wow.
expand on that a moment for you guys who are listening. So let's take a little pregnant pause. Let's think about that. So think about being in a mastermind or being in a group or a community or a membership where you have invested an amount of money to be in it. Now, yes, when you make an investment to be in it and you follow the directions and you do what you're told and you take it and drive it even further than what you're told so that you're coachable and you are an excellent coachable client, then you can often do well with the information that you've been given. Now, theoretically, statistics say that 97% of the people do nothing with it. And so they have benefit of connection and they have some happy moments, but they may not get the return on it that they wanted. But let's say you join the membership, you do what you're told. Let's say you're in Heather's and she's telling you, do this with a podcast, do this for publicity, move forward with your business, outline this stuff. And then you throw in Ellen's, let's say it's in a partnership, but now you throw in Ellen and she's like, oh, for, corporate consultation, you need to do this, you need to work with these people, you put in these different software and development. And then I'm like, oh, do social media here and publicity here, connection here. Now you've enacted all of these different elements of the membership. So great, you have now new friends, you have new business associates, and now you hopefully have monetized it because you've been able to attract new clients. But then, like what Heather says, you've done well and you're ready to move on. Now you've expanded, you've exhausted the pool there, and it's time for you to grow and go to that next level. All of a sudden now you can sell where you were and allow someone else to step into that experience and take it on for themselves.
Isn't that
Yeah.
cool?
That is so
Never
cool.
been able to sell our memberships before like that. Well, I mean, there are some. I won't say never. There have been some where people have been over to take over someone's whatever, but not to the level where market value fluctuates, where there's that
Yes.
buy and whatever. And there's never been a wallet like that or a contract that all of a sudden you have this certification like this is it. It's always,
Yes.
word of mouth or a paper contract. It's not anything locked in stone that this is what's occurring and that you actually have a asset that you can
Yeah,
hold
even
Yes.
within.
asset.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're building equity in the process, which I really like. So this is nice.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
And then
throwing out
go
one
ahead.
more idea, Andrea was thrown in the pot. So
Ooh.
also there's no refunds. Think about it. There's no refunds. Right? Who here has sold maybe a $10,000 a very high ticket, and then there's like a buyer remorse or something, or maybe they needed money, or maybe their spouse is like, "What are you thinking?" Like, there's no buyer. You can't do a refund on ETH. You know what I'm saying? You can sell the NFT, and then it's like no problem, right? So I'll give you an example also that I think is really great. I was part of something called the War Room with Ryan Dice and Perry Belcher, like way, 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 way in the back of like a long time ago, the first year and second year. So my investment at the time was 10,000 US. Okay. Now to get in the War Room is 50K.
Wow.
50K. Now imagine instead of saying, here, Heather's an invoice, imagine if they said, we're going to have an NFT and you buy at 10,000 because I knew them way back. And I just held on to it. I didn't even go to the events. I just held on to it, because life happens. Sometimes, like you said, you don't want to go to everything. Maybe just life is going the way. And I held on to it till now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to release my seat now and I'm going to sell in the open market for 50K. Like that's possible.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
It's amazing.
Okay. It is.
So now I want to take that one step further. So now that it's
Okay.
an asset, that asset, depending on how you lay everything out and how your codes are distributed to people so that they can find it and get it, I'm being attacked by Nat, that you have this opportunity then, should something happen to you, should you pass, you can put it in your estate. It can be willed to someone, you can gift it to someone. You could promote someone within your company as a gift to take it over. You could make it part of the asset when you sell your company, that they not only get your clients and your collateral and your copy and your copywriting and all of your products and services, but now they can also have this membership as part of it
Oh,
too, that they can use or
wow.
sell to help them within the business.
Yeah, to go
So
on
it
that
really
realm,
does.
they're using that with NFL tickets. So, like, I'm a big Cowboys fan, and to get
Me
season
too.
tickets or certain tickets, oh, all right, second tickets, they can actually pass down generationally. They're that rare and, like, coveted.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
now they're turning those into whoever owns the NFT has the suite or has the seat and can be easily transferred, sold, right? Or passed over to wallets, right? Whoever has that NFT on the blockchain has the seat, right?
Wow.
That's not what we're talking about in coaching, but you can get the sense
Yes.
exactly what
Yes.
we're talking about.
This reminds me of how seats were traded on it was an exchange, one of the big exchanges, but it was small. It was the MC something or other, but it was for the micro investor, for commodities. And that's how they traded the seats. I had the seat, you were interested in it, so I negotiated with you. You ended up with it. Here comes Andrea, she wants a piece. So that's what this reminds me of. This is a really sweet operation, I must say.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where I'm in Florida right now, I remember about 4 months ago, I had this conversation with a realtor, and I said to him, there's going to be a house that sells as an NFT soon. And he says to me, no way in hell is that going to happen. And then 2 weeks later, he calls me and goes, oh my God, it's happening and it's down the street. And I was like, no way. So we've already had our first house sell here in the States. It was in Clearwater, Florida, as an NFT. They wrapped the house. If you know anything about real estate, just play with it. They wrapped the house in an LLC, and then the LLC owned the NFT, right? So then they sold the NFT on an auction with ETH, and whoever bought the NFT owned the LLC, which owned the house, right? Just to give you a
Wow.
very broadness of that. But
Yes.
that's kind of what's
Yes.
possible with companies, with
Right.
products, with services, and on and on and on.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's like tangible assets with using a intangible kind of currency, so to speak. But it's doable. I can see it. This is like marvelous. Where do I sign?
Well, that's the cool thing is how you sign is you look and find people who are doing things that you're interested in. You don't find somebody else with it, create it for yourself. So let's dial the opposite way now. We've talked about big things like buying a house. Let's talk about things that you can do with this that are very simplistic, that you don't have to create something. You don't have to have a house. You don't have to have a thing. You don't have to own stuff. So that's the knowledge in your mind and the words
Yeah,
that you say.
that's right.
You literally could do a whole membership class on breath work. Now, everyone,
Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Oh my
you could
goodness. Wow.
NFT air. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I just said that now I'm making myself laugh because somebody NFT'd first. So there you go. I mean, it's just you can do whatever you want. It's limitless. And with this ability to be able to do that, you could do audible books. You could write a book. You could write blogs. There's other
Yes.
information. Almost all of us. Okay, Heather, you've said this. Everyone is an influencer in their own right. I believe that everyone is an expert in some area. Now, they may not be the top expert in the world, but most people aren't looking for the top expert in the world. They're looking for someone who's an expert beyond what they know for that next step.
Yes.
And all of us have that. Otherwise, we wouldn't have friends and mentors and bosses. So think about it. It would be fun if those of you who are listening, shout out some little things for us and write some comments of some things that that are, even if you think they're crazy, throw them out there, and Heather, Ellen, and I will play with it and see if we can come up with something. I used
And let
to.
me just, I
Oh,
just
go
want
ahead.
to acknowledge, I just very quickly acknowledge Rick Scherer, who reminds us that this is not financial advice or information that we're giving. This is strictly fun stuff, things that we've seen, that we've observed, and we're sharing it with the audience. We're not financial advisors or any of that. We have no commission coming to us from Wall Street. So just need to get that said.
Well, thank
Yeah,
you for
it's
that.
interesting
Uh,
about Wall Street. Yeah, I don't even consider it even inside of Wall Street. So thank you for first of all, thank you for saying that. But at the same time, for me, I don't even think this is Wall Street or an investment. I think this is really learning. This is just from my perspective, opinion on the subject. Is I think that we are moving into literally a new world. The other thing to think about is we're probably here sitting in the United States, but I'm right now part of a membership group of a woman who is a VC capitalist in Hong Kong, right? And
Oh,
I don't pay
nice.
her US dollars, right? I pay her inside of crypto because
Okay.
she lives in Hong Kong. She has she is the head of the family VC fund. You can just get the idea of that with multiple real estate, including hotels, on and on. I'm part of her little membership community, which I absolutely love. And what is she dealing with all the time? I don't pay her a credit card from a US bank to Stripe, right? She's in Hong Kong. And so she does everything in crypto. And so that's, I think, the other level of this. We forget that here in the States, we do everything with Visa. That's why I think
Yes.
it's interesting that this is actually a true story. About 3 months ago, I get to see this article. I think it was Wall Street Journal or something like that. That Visa was going to get into NFTs and crypto, which kind of was like weird. I was like, what's that? And of course, I called my sister. She's a VP at Visa, and she was, I have no clue what you're talking about. And I sent her the link, and she's like, I have no clue what you're talking about. That's just a bunch of PR. And I was like, okay, well, what are they doing? She's like, I don't know. But I thought it was interesting because if you think about it, Visa, Visa, like we want to be in Olympics, Visa, right? Visa is the number one um, credit card, debit card in the world. Every transaction that happens every 30 seconds, they take at least 1 to 3% of it every 30 seconds in the world. You could just fathom that. And so when you take crypto in the world of our world membership sites and masterminds and cool stuff, we're taking away money from them. We're taking away revenue from them. So they want to get in the game. So they're trying to figure that out right now. So just thinking through why it's so powerful. That's why it's so powerful. And last thing I would say is I just hired someone 2 months ago to do a little work for me. He's in Norway, something like that. And I just sent him through Coinbase a little Bitcoin, no fees on either side. Was there in 2 minutes, no fees. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Nice. Whew.
Open
since
global
you
market,
mentioned credit card, since you mentioned credit card and we talked about like Wall Street and commodities, I want to give a little shout out. And I believe his birthday was this week, for Ron Klein. Ron Klein is a friend of mine. I believe I think he'd be 87 this year. And he invented the magnetic strip that goes on the back of the credit card so that we can
Yes,
process.
yes, yes.
He also
Wow.
is responsible for the real estate industry, the MLS syndrome, where people then can find multiple listings, or how that multiple listing works. And then for Wall
Yes.
Street, the one that made it so, how they threw the ticker tape and crazy and all the pieces of paper, changed it so that it then became a different kind of a system so that it was more managed and easier. So he's done amazing things in the world. So happy birthday to Ron. I believe his birthday was last week. And to think, how fun is that we're experiencing people in the world who did wonderful, amazing innovations for us, and in our lifetime, and the new things that are coming and that haven't even come yet. I mean, it's kind of really been funny for me. I've been watching some older movies. I've been trying to take a little bit more downtime, and we've been watching old movies where those things that were theoretical, dream, fantasy, future things are coming true.
Yes.
It's
Yes,
happening.
indeed. Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it exciting to be alive right now?
Yes, yes.
very, very
Yeah.
cool. So, Heather, what's
Yeah.
next for you? What are some things that are coming so that we can give you a little bit of love for your future endeavors?
Thank you. Yeah. So one of the things that are coming down the pipe is that I will be launching my own crypto coin. I'm looking at a
Very
few different
nice.
platforms right now, so that's really cool. That and I will be launching my own NFT project, but I'm looking at how I'm going to do it. The original way that a lot of people did 10,000 units, and they sold them, but there wasn't really what I call anything behind it. It was just to have them say you're part of the community. I think
Right.
that was what I call iteration one of Web3. I think the next level of that is to actually tie it to a membership or some kind of level of group program mastermind. There's a connection to something. I think that's what's next. So as we've
Yes.
all been around since 2004, 5, and 6 when Facebook came around, I was around before that. This thing called AOL. The first iteration, right, of online marketing was just information, and then that
Right.
second level was, oh my God, I could buy something online. That was that. Oh my gosh. And then of course here we're at the third, fourth generation of that. Buy anything we want and we will get it in 24 hours. I think that first level of NFTs where we had the big projects and they went crazy and the crazy pricing. I'm not saying anything against those. I think that was the first generation. I remember in 2001, 2001, when we had the dot-com boom and bust, right? When
Yes.
pets.com was $1 million or something crazy. I think that's where we're kind of ending right now with the NFT
Okay.
world. And where we're going is, how is it a ticket to something?
Indeed.
Right? Does that make sense? Or the next
Yeah.
level of that, which is healthcare, where if I'm here in Las Vegas and something happens, we hope it doesn't, but if it does, I would actually have on my phone an NFT that's connected to all my medical records from my entire history. So the doctors and nurses can look at that. Maybe I'm out, maybe because I'm not coherent for whatever reason. They can see everything that's ever happened with my medical history in one click, right? So they know what to do. And I think that's where the future is that. And so where I'm going to be taking it is, where can I be a leader, especially in the coaching, author, consulting industry specifically, and then women specifically, doing my own NFT project around masterminds as well as my own coin. That's it.
Wow. Really
Perfect.
nice. I like that. Yes. Yes. Wow. You have really inspired us today, Heather.
While
Thank
I'm
you.
thinking about it too, I wanted to acknowledge that we have a Latino version of this Bees.Social as well, who've been very active in helping women who speak Spanish and who've been helping them in multiple different countries now. And it's been really exciting to see what they've been able to do. And we are on, if you go to crypto_underscore swarm on Twitter, you can come into our Twitter spaces. I believe they are still running 24/7, so people can share ideas and get advice and information and create friends and communities. Yes, Twitter Spaces 24/7, crypto_swarm. That's hard for me to say. And it's been very exciting to see the growth of what Bees.Social is doing. I also know that they are doing a meet and greet. If you go to NFTconnect.1 in Philadelphia, July 19th, tomorrow, they'll be doing a special meet and greet. So kudos to you guys. I had other things happening, so I was going to go, and I thought I've got so much to get done. I'm also having an event July 31st for anybody who would love to attend. It's called Leaders Amped for Change. Leaders Amped for Change. AMP stands for authenticity, music celebrities, philanthropy, entrepreneurs and education, and duty. So our military, police, and so forth. And we are creating an experience. So even though I called it a conference, it is not that. We are going to have an experience of a lifetime, connection and community building. So we would love to have you. That is it. Where are we meeting? We are going to be in Hanover, Maryland, right at BWI Airport. So if anybody's interested in finding out details on how to come to this one or be a part of a future one, we've already been asked to do 2 more, and we haven't even had this one yet. So that's you guys can reach out. I was going to give you my phone number. My phone number is on here. All right. Well, my phone number is right there. So you can just text me and then I can get you the information about it. And it'll be on Eventbrite later. It's we just made some really cool changes and very excited about it. We'll have a VA whistleblower for the Veterans Administration, and Bootsy Collins' son, Uwe Collins, will be there. And Bootsy Collins' band member, Tim Colby, he's going to be revealing a song at the Pentagon, or was revealing a song for the Pentagon on 9/11, and he's now doing a reveal at our event. So how cool is that? So, and then you can learn more about her, Heather Havenwood, heatherhavenwood.com, and find out more about this sexy boss. And again, Ellen J. Harris, you can go to business-accelerated.com and learn more about what she's doing to help people really prosper in their lives. And theredcarpetconnection.com. That's me, Dr. Andrea Adams Miller. And again, Rick Scherer, thank you so much for being the man behind the scenes. He is the Oz behind the curtain. And we appreciate you again. Tim Judge at BeesSocial.TV. And of course, all our love to our Bee community. And that is Bees.Social. That is an actual website, Bees.Social, and socialbees.io. And we would love to have you join us everywhere that we go, because we are a hive and we like to swarm in solidarity. So thank you so much for being here, Heather. We appreciate you, sexy boss.
Yes, thank you, Heather.
Have a blessed day. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.